Hey everyone, it's Bob, or DoggertQBones. Welcome back to another deck tech. This time I'm doing a really cool deck I've been playing on ladder. It's been winning me a lot of games, so I figured might as well share it with everyone else. It is Rakdos Dragons. So, pretty much what we're aiming for is a mid-range deck that gets to use some of the dragon payoffs, such as Dragon's Fire. Dragon's Fire, which is like kind of like a Doomblade in this deck, most of the time anyway. And Orb of Dragonkind, can't speak, as a means of ramping into your 4s and your 5s. Otherwise, we have some cool mid-range elements like Valky, who have actually cast as the Tybalt half multiple times, Klain to help ramp, Florian, it's kind of the new hotness for mid-range. In my burn video, I was saying, like, what the hell was going on with that Jund deck? Apparently, that's just a known quantity. I just was unaware of it. And Florian apparently is one of the key bridges for that. So I'm going to try it more out here. I tried it for one match. And it was pretty good. But I'm going to try it more. This used to be Nighthawk Scavenger, but it was a little hard on the mana base. Nevertheless, we have our dragons, a cool interaction with the newest mana form, Hellkite. We don't have an excess of spells, but Shatter Skull Smashing is really, really good with mana form Hellkite, because you can go Hellkite even later in the game, then suddenly like smashing for 6 and just bonk them for 10. It's pretty good. We have a really nice board between Duresses, Removal, Goblin, Skyclave Shades, the works. This deck is supposed to be good against the aggro decks already. I might have gone a little too hard on the controlling decks, but I feel like that's where I'm going to be hurting the most, so I probably even overboarded for those matchups, but we'll see with testing. I can always change it around a little bit. So, let's get into some games. Alright, going into match 1. Let's see what we face. Unfortunately, my previous opponent was just disconnected at the start. Not much we can do about that. So, Lick Kid. Alright, or Lickid. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Let's see what we got. Pretty decent hands. Definitely keeping it. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to sequence everything. Unless they're specifically mono white, I'm probably just going to play this down first. They are not. They seem to be some sort of Izzet deck. As anticipated, so let's go Orb. They Jawari this, that's like annoying, but not the end of the world. Yeah. Annoying, not the end of the world. Celestis, okay. Now, oh, okay. Now I don't have to choose. Let's go Florian. Like, I don't even know if they wanted... I don't even know if they wanted to Jawari there, because, like, Orb is only ramp, and the control decks tend to want to try to mitigate your resources. I guess Orb can turn into a resource later, so it's probably fine. You probably just want to Jawari when you have the opportunity to do so. I get that. But, I don't know. So, I can't cast Goldspan, so I might as well just attack first. Demon Bolt, huh? Okay. Second Demon Bolt. Upgrade. Alright. Fair enough. Let's go Mana Form. What do they got? So it's hard to tell what iteration of Izzet they are. Like, they could be turns. They could just be control. That's the one of the harder things about the Izzet decks now. It's really hard to determine their win con, because they're like the same, like 50 cards with only like 10 difference. I'm hoping they're the Hullbreaker Horror version. I think that's a lot easier to beat, at least game 1. Game 2 gets a little more challenging, but it's like I have removal spells. That's like another thing. I feel like people are like really not happy with how Hullbreaker Horror like kind of operates. I think it's kind of fine. I think it's a lot better than Alrund's Epiphany anyway. Like, you can't, like, you could barely interact with Epiphany unless you're blue specifically. At least Hullbreaker Horror, you can kill it. So, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. I'm just going to go for Goldspan. A lot of lists don't play Salt Coming anymore, so may as well just go for Gusto here. I have a lot of creature lands, but they have the field. So unfortunately, I don't have much else going on. Yeah, and there's the Owl Runes. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Like like I can't really stop that, right? I don't know how much it's going to do, but it seems that they're going to attack and just cast another one. Like, okay. It's not really interactive. At least Hullbreaker Horror, I feel like I have a shot at beating. Not that I'm dead to this in any capacity, but this is kind of just pretty lame because I'm just almost dead because they can just load up Hall of the Storm Giants. Or if they have a third, then I am just dead. Oh, okay. So they just have a third. Oh, they don't have a third. Huh. It's really seemed to me that they had the third one there. That's weird. Why would you swing out completely? I guess they just have the horror anyway. Oh, they did have the third. They just had lethal. Or no, they probably just drew it for turn is the more likely scenario. Like, okay. I'm assuming there's a Hullbreaker in my future. Let's see, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I'm going to need, let's say 9. So it's 4 to activate. I can block. Okay, so I can play another lands like that, and that should be safe. There's the horror. I got to kill that now, ideally. Oh, I also get a 2/2 blocker. It's pretty good. So their last card has to be something, but I could still kill it again. Or I guess they could bounce it to their hands. But anyway, it seems to be the version that plays both. Okay, sure. And they bounce one of my dragons, I guess the mana form specifically. That doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like that was a bit of a missequence on their part. I'm not positive if they could have stopped this regardless, but I feel like they should have gone after one of my dragons at least, right? Not sure. But they are at 8, and they do have a Field of Ruin, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill them at this point. Probably not, I'm assuming. I'm just going to draw 4 cards. Okay. Yep. Oh, right. That doesn't work that way. I would need to have 3 cards in hand because the other one fizzled. Oh, geez. To be honest, I missed that too. So I can't even blame them. Oh, that really sucks. Is your Field of Ruin open? It is. Okay. Ugh, just a lot of lands. Not much I can do about that. Let's go Hive, because I rather the Den live. Then again, I'm still in a pretty awkward spot. Because if they just chump 2 of them. Yeah, they could just chump. And they still have lethal, technically. So I just have to hope that they don't have a removal spell for my manland, too. After activating Hall. Definitely rough. This deck is just pretty obscene. Do hope that they eventually ban Elrune's Epiphany. I feel like there's just pretty much no value to keeping it in standard. Like them just getting 4 free birds and 6 free damage or whatever. Like, was that fun? I don't know. Doesn't appeal to me. Guess it appeals to some players, but is what it is. Surprised they did it that way as well. Just more Hellkites. Not exactly what I was looking for. They can load up Hall, and I still can't kill them because they just have a bunch of birds in the air. So just same deal. All right, they're tanking on something. Yep. Gotta beat through them. I am afraid that they have Hullbreaker Horror, then I'm almost certainly dead, but really not anything I could do about it with this hand. Deluge, that's fine. That doesn't kill me. So they've already seen 3 Epiphany as well. Maybe I can squeak this out because they currently don't have lethal either on board. Some sort of removal spell? Demon Bolt. Okay. Multiple Demon Bolts, sure. However, if they go for the attack with both, I can safely assume that they do have a Spike Field hazard. So at the bare minimum, activate 1 creature lands. I might even have to do 2. Dependent. Okay, well, that seems to be a desperation deluge. Like, they have to find something, right? Otherwise, I just activate both creature lands, and unless they have, like, triple Fading Hope or something, that would work. Well, not triple. Double Fading Hope would still do it. And they have... Okay, they just didn't find it. That was a really close one, so many turns before, if they just had the Epiphany over the Hullbreaker Horror, they probably just would have won right there, which would have been very sad. But we did manage to squeak it out. So let's see. So Soul Shatter is always a funny one because it's so good against a horror. It's not great otherwise, but I still think I keep it. I think it's better than Infernal Grasp, especially against Hall of the Storm Giants specifically. If, you know, the game degenerates to something like that. Valky is like okay. Dragon's Fire is obviously pretty bad. Kalane's also pretty bad in general. You don't want to spend your treasure on a spell just for it to be bounced. So in that vein, I think keeping in 1 Infernal Grasp is still fine, and the rest of this looks pretty fine. Yeah. Gotta get some water. That's good. Even though we won, still, I do hope they ban Epiphany. I just don't think it's a fun card. It's hard to interact with. It makes mid-range decks much, much harder to play because only blue decks can interact with it. It's not the most fun. If you couldn't foretell it, then it would probably be fine because it's just a 7 mana, spell. But the ability to foretell it makes it difficult. What they should have done, what Wizards should have printed, in my opinion, with Kaldheim was, Memory Drain from Throne of Eldraine. I think it was called Memory Drain. 3 mana, Thoughtseize, but also you could take a card from Adventures, put it in the graveyard. I think they should have just added something analogous to that into this standard. I think that would have been a really smart decision. So you get punished if you foretell too. They kind of did that with Washaway, but Blue already has 7 different ways to deal with Alrund's Epiphany if they really want to, right? They're not the ones that need the help. So we're going to start with Haunted Ridge because I don't have many lands. Skyclave Shade's pretty good against them, barring Spikefield Hazard, but that's fine. They can't do it this turn anyway, so I don't mind. Nice. I always love when you don't have to decide what your pathway is going to be on yet. It is nice. They could Jawari this if they want. I'd be more than happy for them to. We lose some pressure, but we gain, you know, some card advantage because next turn I could just go Haunted Ridge, Duress, bring back Skyclave. And that'd be really good. That's like a little annoying, but I don't think that's like bad in any capacity. So, ooh, there's the Jwari that they were tanking on. Okay, so I think I want to put the squeeze on him a little bit. And to do that, just got to slam this Florian right now. Because now they have to decide between like advancing their board state or letting me draw cards. And people hate, and blue players hate when I draw cards. So I'm assuming Florian's going to take a little vacation to my hands. Or that, sure. That makes sense as well. Deweth. What you got? They have Lier as well. I'm really glad I kept in the Soul Shatters then, huh? That's tough. So Windfall is scary because it lets them do a lot eventually. I also don't want them having burn, but I think I gotta do it this way. They have burned down the house. They have burned down the house. I don't think there's much I could do about it. Right now, they can't actually cast anything, which is interesting. I could even take their Lier, which doesn't do anything. Or, wait, hold on a second. If I take their Lier and they don't find a red source next turn, I can copy Lier and then duress their burn down the house. I don't know if that's good, but that's a snazzy enough play that I think I have to try it. If nothing else, it's for the content. I don't know if this is correct, but it feels right. No, you're so lame. Come on, for the content. What a jerk. At least I pretty much forced them to do it now. And for what it's worth, burning down the house to kill just Valky is pretty bad. Oh, they're actually not doing it. Okay. So, if only I had one more mana. Ooh. Well, that's pretty spiffy. That was probably like my best draw. All right, it all works out. I forgive you, Lick Kid, because I still get to do the fun play. Nifty. All right. This is pretty much what Rakdos wants to do against the turns deck, though. Game one, I think, you know, my opponent did misplay a bit, which definitely hurt. And they were very, very close to killing me, but they didn't quite get there. So the problem is I am afraid of them having some sort of interaction. I would love to transform the Lier and then duress them right now, but they're probably not going to give me that option. There's the Demon Bolt. Oh, if that was like an Abrade, then I could save it in response, but no such luck. That's all right. So we go Mana Form Hellkite. Question is, do I play the lands? I feel like no, because I want to have a lands to bring back Skyclave if necessary, and I don't need the extra mana right now. Because I paused, they must know for sure that it is a land, but what am I going to do, right? Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't work, opponent. You needed to play Lier there. I think I would have won anyway, but okay. Nice victory over turns. I'm glad I got to face that first. You know, that's obviously a very important matchup to know about. And, you know, I think my opponent's hand wasn't, like, amazing. But for what it's worth, the new versions of Izzet are quite clunky. So, you know, that's just going to happen. And I have a lot of hand disruption. I can't speak today. What is going on with me? So, you know, that's just going to happen. This hand's close, but with no twos, it's pretty clunky. My opponent mulled as well. I think I could go down. Okay. I don't love it, don't hate it. I definitely don't want to get rid of the lands, I don't believe. So I'm going to get rid of the removal spell and hope I'm not going to need it. Well, they are mono green, so it looks like I might have needed it. But we have dragons abound, so hopefully that does something. All right. Now I don't have to bolt myself at least, so that's good as well. So which one do I start with? I'm thinking Moonveil Regents. Okay, they can't old growth troll me. That's really good. And Shatter Skulls. Ooh, okay. So Shatter Skull Smashing isn't going to do too much right now. I wonder if that was actually supposed to be a black, but I don't have double black spells in my deck. I don't believe anyway. No. So let's start with Moonveil Regent. That seems good. And then I'm probably just going to chump with Kalane. If they decide to just buff up Werewolf Pack Leader, I still think I have to block. Ugh. Wait, what? Is that what they meant to do? Oops. Seems to be a bit of a mistake there from my opponent. Getting a bit fortunate with those. Well, I'm going to take the block that they give me. Bit of a misstep there, but my opponent's far from dead. So I have to bolt myself, which hurts, but it is what it is. I still have decent blocks this turn, and I can just go another mana form or just follow up with Goldspan. Really wish I was on the play in this matchup, obviously, because, you know, you want to be on the play against aggro, right? But I don't feel like I'm in a horrible position or anything. Depends. I'm starting to trickle lower and lower. That's fine. Interesting. If that's what they're doing, I will take it, I believe. That seems pretty good for me. Let's go another mana form. I don't want to bolt myself if I don't absolutely have to, so this seems like a pretty good setup. Please no run in 7. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. Like, if they wanted to do that, yeah. They messed that up. If they wanted to draw a card, they should have done it the other way. But it is what it is. Not the end of the world for my opponent, but definitely a bit of a missequence there. Alright, so attack with Goldspan. I believe if they had Blizzard Brawl, they would have used it. So what I'm going to do... Actually, you know what? I was going to play a Florian out, but instead I'd rather hold for Shatter Skull Smashing, because that just makes way more sense to me. Yeah, because, like, this exact scenario, pretty much. Like, what if they have a really good follow-up, right? I don't want to just get cheesed by that. Do I have enough mana to do everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to have 9 mana. So I'm going to have to not play one of these. Thinking it's probably the Florian, because I want to kill both. Or no. It's not going to be the Moonveil, because I'm going to want... I'm going to have 9 mana. I'm going to need 5. Yeah, okay. This makes sense to me. Well, then again. No, I do need all my mana for this. Yeah. I guess... Oh, that was a pretty big mistake on my part as well. I was supposed to play Florian first, so... That's just a perfect example of think, play. I should have thought through my entire turn first, because I pretty much knew I was going to play Florian, but if I just realized beforehand, I might have drawn a Shatter Skull Smashing off of Florian, maybe just even a land. You know, I would have almost certainly gotten a free resource that I just missed out on, so I pretty much just discarded a card for free. It's all right, you know. I'm just like kind of working through the games in my head. Obviously, it's harder to play super well while also talking about it. But that's okay. It's got to happen, right? I ain't too worried about it. Yeah. My wife just wanted to bug me quickly. So this seems not ideal from the opponent unless they had specifically Inscription, which I'm not going to play around, but they have Lotus Cobra. Okay. So I felt like that was, you know, they just didn't have a means to kill me, but now it's a little more stabilized. So if I attack with just Goldspan, I get some Flurry and stuff. They only have 3 attackers. At very worst, they have 4 attackers. And that could be really bad, especially because all of them are lethal. So I'm going to need as much mana as possible. And let's find a card. Shatterskull Smashing is quite nice because I get to kill 2 things. Do it for 3. Kill those 2. Oh, hold on a second. So that could have gotten me pretty bad. So what I have to do, I have to play... Actually, hold on. Let's just play Kalane first. Then I have... So I don't have to sacrifice the other treasure. So I just do it like this. Bam. Okay. And with that, that should be good enough to secure this game. I can't imagine what they can draw here. Yeah, so let's say whatever they attack with, I obviously am going to chump block. So, like, yeah, I don't really see their out. Anyway, so for the sideboarding, I don't have terribly much because the game ones, you know, I'm supposed to have a reasonable matchup against them already. It's mostly just bringing in a few pieces of removal. As I said in the intro, maybe I went a little too gung-ho. Maybe I took out too much removal for this matchup, but it is what it is. So, what do I not like here? So, Orb is kind of hit or miss. It's kind of hard to take a turn off. We have a visitor, it seems. It's kind of hard to take a turn off just to play a 2-drop even. And the activated ability is really hard to get, you know, find a good time for. It's not bad. I just can't see what I would board out instead. So we're going to go with that, but hold on. Surprise guest. Ugh. Oh, calm down. Yoshi. Hi, Yosh. He keeps running in on me when I'm recording. So funny enough, the door is closed. But it's actually the only door in the house where he can sneak under because it's just an old door. And there's like enough room for him to just kind of wiggle his way under. And he just loves this room. I wish I could say just he loves me, but nah, it's the room. I can admit that. Okay, so my opponent's snap kept. This hand isn't amazing, but I think it's acceptable. So I'm going to keep it. Okay, I was going to start with Shatterskull, but now, oh, here he goes. What's up, baby Yosh? Oh, here you go. Oh, he wants to run free. Be free, my child. Be free. I'm just gonna take it. I don't want to, but I think I have to. I feel like you can hear the skittering in the background, which is really funny. I apologize for that, but he's an untamable child. Alright, so if they have a fight spell, I get pretty much destroyed. There's not much I could do about it, because Blizzard Brawl is just broken. So, What am I going to do? Yep, here we go. Oh, Tangle Trap. Okay, I feel less bad about that. I'm still pretty screwed here, if I'm being honest, because that's just the nature of this matchup, right? You know, Pack Leader, Old Growth Troll removal spell. Kind of lights out for most decks. It's unfortunate that it works out that way, but here we are. And they have Snakeskin Veil. Sheesh. They have the ideals, and that's okay. It's going to happen some amount of games. Oh, just another fight spell? Okay. That's mono green for you. Whew. I don't know what they were thinking with Blizzard Brawl, but oh my god, that card is so good. Anyway. So we're just going to run back the boarding. I'm finally on the play, so hopefully we have a fast hand. So I can interact quickly and not get run over. Yeah, not amazing, but definitely fine. Going Smashing first into Hive of the Eye Tyrant seems pretty good for me. Pack Leader, that's fine. I'm not too scared of that. Alright, so we have a removal spell into 4-drop. Pretty decent. Assuming Werewolf Pack Leader. Oh, just more Ascendant Pack Leaders. Okay. I'm just going to bop one off now. I don't want to get hit too many times. So, we'll just hang out. Man, really wish I kept that Shadow Skull Smashing now, because I could have just like killed both of them. Alright, see you later, Yosh. As he wiggles his way back. Oh, that was actually a mistake. So, I went for the Grasp there, but I was too distracted by his cuteness. I was actually supposed to go for Dragon's Fire there, because if they have a Snakeskin Veil, like Dragon's Fire and, and Infernal Grasp at this point are pretty much the same. So if they have the Snakeskin, I'd rather have the thing that deals me 2 get countered than something that doesn't. So definitely a bit of a missequencing there. All right, let's run out Valky. They've had a really good hand so far. Oof. Now that is the nightmare. All right, so I'm not going to attack. I guess I can attack. There's really no reason for me not to, now that I think about it. Well, then they get a free attack back, and I'm already at 12. All right, so we're going to need something pretty good. And that's another reason, I guess, not to use the Infernal Grasp, because they can just play a 5/5. So definitely multiple mistakes on my part. For what it's worth, I think I had to kill the Chariot anyway, because that's the more threatening. Whoa, okay. I guess they anticipated that I'm holding open. I don't know, they just want to prioritize this. I guess they just don't want to lose their Tree Folk, if that's what they think I have. Or they drew a Snakeskin Veil. If they drew Snakeskin Veil, this would also make sense. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty dead here now. Yikes. Jeez, their hand was really good. Not much I can do about it. Yeah, I'm pretty much just dead here. Forced to block. Yeah, I don't have outs. Oh well. So currently 1-1. Let's try one more. All right, we're going for our third game. I did just face Is It Turns Again. I wanted to see if I can get a variety of matchups, because for whatever reason, I'm a bit cursed, and whenever I do a video, I just face the same deck over and over. So let's see if we can get a different match to end off this video. All right, we're on the draw with an atrocious hand. Definitely not what we're looking for. This hand's much better. Get rid of Valky. We have some stuff going on. Some creatures, some interaction. Oh, is it once more? Okay. Is it for the third time in a row? Okie dokie. Not in a row, I guess. Man, I'm just cursed. These videos just want to have the same matchup. Actually, this could be dragons. This might actually be dragons, so that is at least different. Alright, Shatter Your Soul. You can Fading Hope it if you want, but... Huh, consider. I'm going to play Moonveil Regent. I want to play something good enough that they won't deluge, but I don't want to use a treasure and lose my gold span. So this should be threatening enough to prompt some sort of response. That's fine. Teachings, sure. Gold span. Wouldn't be happy to see it, of course, but Prismari commands. You jerk. Alright. Okay, so do I play around Jwari Disruption in any capacity? What my feeling is, why would they do that play if they didn't have specifically Jwari? So I'm going to play around it. Like, taking out my mana there seems just, like, a little greedy. So I rather go for a strong play that still... There it is. Alright, let's go for Florian. Let's go force them to do something. Obviously not discarding the hands. Assuming one of these is not long for this world. I would love if an attack connected, because I could use the lands. Oh, okay. Maybe they are just as it turns. Anyway, I thought they were dragons initially, but they might just be like the Smoldering Egg Lier version. Alright, we actually get to find the lands. Nice. Okay. Let's see what they got. Have a feeling I'm about to get comboed here. No, they're a little short on mana for that. Can't do that quite yet. Spikefield Hazard. That's actually not that bad, surprisingly. That could take out a bird token. Alright, this has to prompt a response. There's no way they're letting this go. Unless they, of course they have nothing, which it seems to be the case. Hullbreaker Horror. Decline. Nice. No consider. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go. Oh my goodness, that's so many cards. Well, I can only play one of them. So let's take the Den. More creature lands. Can't hurt. Alright, so it seems that they might be not turns, but just the is it control variants. So that's fine with me. Wanted to get another matchup entirely, but you know what? I'll take it if we at least get some play out of it. Okay, so Dragon's Fire is awful. Valky is like hit or miss. It's pretty bad, but it's not like completely terrible. Like Kalane is pretty bad. So I think just doing it like this is pretty reasonable. Valky at least lets me peek at their hands. And I have, pretty good interaction still. I have plenty for their Hullbreaker Horror. So let's run it. Surprised they didn't really have many answers. I guess they were just drawing a little dead. Sounds pretty good. Jwari on 1. I'll go Shatter Skull on 1. It's a hive on 2. Then what I do from there is much tougher to say. A lot of choices. So, I think I'm just going to go orb. It's probably good enough to do some sort of reaction. Actually, seeing that they had 2 Prismari commands, I actually wonder if I shouldn't be playing orbs. Maybe I was supposed to board that out. Not sure. Here I could just play a 4-drop. They seemed to hesitate when I played the orb, so maybe. That's tough. I think I'm just going to go Skyclave Shade. This isn't great if they end up having a Prismari command, but if they do, I still get to go... I still get to crack the orb. Divide by 0 specifically. Well, I'm going to fizzle that, and that seems pretty awesome for me. Nice. I'll take Goldspan. So that seemed really good for me. I got a card out of it, and they didn't. I'm not even sure if they thought that I could do that, but it worked out pretty well for me. All right, let's bonk for 3. Here, I think I'm fine running out a dragon into something. I could Valky to check out their hands first, but I think I'm just fine with the happenings. I'm not going to be discarding my hand anytime soon, so I think I could start with Moonveil Regent. That seems pretty reasonable. Nothing. Okay. Maybe they just have, like, burn down the house or something? That would be annoying, but definitely not, like, the end of the world. Interesting. All right, so let me attack first, right? Yeah, let's attack first. So I'm going to attack first, see if they do anything, and then dictate my decision from there. I see. Okay. I'm fine with that. Teachings, huh? That's pretty good. I want to play the 4-drop here, but considering they found a Teachings specifically, they might be able to get it that they can get the full 3 cards, right? So they go up to 6. All right, hold on. So I go down to 7. So I can go down to 6, and they go up to 6. I guess there's no real way they can do that. So I guess the question is, would I rather play Valky and see what they have, Valky and like Skyclave Shade? Or would I rather play like just Moonveil Regent? I think I'd rather diversify a little bit and take a look at what they have. All right. So this worked out a bit better because now they're forced to kill my Valky to get their Hullbreaker Horror back. So that's pretty nifty. Next turn, if I draw a land, or even if I don't, I can still go Orb into Dragon, which is why I like this play. So I still have a double play next turn. So it looks like they are turns. They're just playing some horrors. You got it. Okay. What else could they have? They just played a land, I believe. So they must have some sort of 2-drop thing. So we know at least one of those cards isn't specifically Jwari Disruption. But the other one could be. Spikefield Hazard, perhaps? I could just play around it and hold up Soul Shatter. I think that's good enough. Like, if I can play around Jwari, I feel like I just should. Okay. Let's end the turn there. Could be like a second Thundering Rebuke or something, but not much I could do about that. 9. So they currently don't have enough to, what's it called? Combo yet. All right, more removal spells. So that's pretty nice. So if I load up Den, they Field of Ruin. But they could Field of Ruin and Hullbreaker War? But then they are almost dead. That's tough. If there were if they had one less life, I could do a really cute play of Moonveil Regent and then like try to kill my own Regent to ping them. But it's not going to work out that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a little ways off from doing it all. All right, I'll just attack. Not much else I can do here. Here's the horror. You know what? Let's go for Infernal Grasp first. If they try to save it, then I can just Soul Shatter in response, and I don't lose the 2. So that seems pretty good for me. Cathartic Pyre. Okay. Okay. So they're actually just letting this go. That's interesting. I didn't anticipate they would just let that resolve, but... Alright, let's go Mana Form. And pass from here. So, because they use their treasures, they're still a ways off from actually comboing me off. Assuming they even are playing Aura Runes. I have to assume they are. Because I don't think I've seen Izzet without Galvanic Iteration. Oh, is my opponent going to make the same... Nope. They're more savvy. About to say, like, I was hoping my opponent would make the same mistake my first one did. That would have been ironic, but... You know, if they did, it happens, right? Celestis, huh? So is that going to be enough to keep them alive? It is if they have removal. Okay. Nice. So they did survive another turn. But they are out of Galvanics. So let's Gold Span Dragon. I'm going to Florian now. Because I'm actually learning from my mistakes. Alright. Let's take a look. Go blank. That's pretty sick right now. And that will definitely do that. Florian has been really good for me. Pretty much in every matchup. It's not the best against Mono Green because they have so many 4/4s between Old Growth Troll and Chariot and such. But like even there, it's not bad. As long as you remember to actually play it main one. Ooh, got rid of 2 horrors. That was a pretty good go blank. Okay. They do get the full draw 3 though, which is the downside of this line. But I figured forcing him to spend 3 mana would be good enough. Well, I could edit this out and try yet again to find another matchup, but this recording's already going on like an hour and a half, so I think we'll just stop there. I think we get the idea. So 2-1, very reasonable. Ironically, I figured, that card sucks. All right, anyway. Hold on, let's get to the deck quickly, and let's do a little wrap-up. There we are. So, 2-1 total. Beat Izzet twice. Seemingly pretty similar lists. And lost the Mono Green, which ironically I would have expected Izzet to be harder and Mono Green to be a bit easier, but maybe that's just how my deck is currently configured. I think against Mono Green I got a tad unlucky as well. You know, game 2, they kind of just had the nuts in game 3. Their curve was really strong. Mine was just okay. but that could just be telling to how I configured my deck. I do have a lot of sideboard cards for them. So maybe if mono green persists to be a difficult matchup, I could even go up to the fourth burning hands. But anyway, yeah, like I think this deck is very reasonable. Again, not a tier 1 option, but few decks are going to be at this point. I think you have a really nice curve, a lot of options. The dragon package with Dragon's Fire and Orb have been great overall. You get access to plenty of creature lands. I play 6. That could be egregious considering I already have 6 more utility lands, so it's like 12 utility lands in total. But I do like this configuration. I'm sure we can mess around with the numbers a little bit, but overall, deck performs. Apparently, it's pretty good against Izzet. It actually felt better against Izzet than I anticipated it would. I was playing this a bit yesterday. I was facing, a nice slew of matchups, but none of them Izzet. I was assuming that was going to be the hardest one, but it actually didn't feel too terrible. So I wouldn't say it felt favored. Definitely like a 50-50-er, but I guess if you just play around their interaction as much as you can, they have a hard time keeping up. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, that's my Rakdos Dragons deck tech. Expect an article to be in the description below. Thanks everyone for watching and have a great day.